Hi guys, Sanchi Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I want to share some more like art journal type of stuff. Well, art journal, it's a bunch of like artsy stuff. I got a few things. This is an art journal that I just made. I absolutely love this. I made this out of a book. I ripped out the guts of the book, and then I used all kinds of Diana Reevely dilution paints on it through stencils, and there's a whole little process she does. So check her out. Dina, oh my god, Diana Reevely, and it's D-Y-N-A, Reevely. And I'm going to show you guys a bunch of techniques that I've learned from her, and I kind of mix them in with my own technique, my own stuff I've learned also. And then I use her sprays. Also, I make my own sprays. Okay, and I said this before in a video a long time ago. My own water sprays are just as good as hers, you guys, believe it or not. They do the ghosting technique, and they're real vibrant, just like how hers are. When I make my own, at Blick, they have a thing called liquid watercolor. I use it full strength, and you just fill up your bottle, and bam, you're done. And you can custom make colors. They have probably 10 different colors there for you. This stuff is great, and it's just as vibrant. The only reason I have a lot of some of these dilutions, like 4 years ago I used to do her stuff, and I had bought a bunch of them, so I need to use those up. But as I use those up, I make my own. And the other thing is, there's a few colors, because I don't have the base color quite right, I can't make. Like there's a bubblegum pink I really like, and so I just ordered that one. So I order a few of them if I can't seem to make that color that I want. So, but most of the time I can make the color I want. So I just wanted to show you that. So this is how this turned out. And this is a matter of sprays and also paint. Diana Reevely also has paint, acrylic paints, which I really want the paint, but I'm holding out, you guys, because I have an obscene amount of acrylic paint. An obscene amount. And I have all colors, bright colors, darks, lights, whatever. So I'm going to try to stick using those because it's pretty similar. I mean, I want her paints, I know, but her big thing is that acrylic dries fast. Well, all acrylic dries fast. So as long as you're putting in thin layers, it's going to dry fast. So anyway, this is a mixture of that with stencil work, and it's just fun. I love doing this. This leaf around here, this is a Diana Reevely stencil. The flowers here, that is a Stampin' Up stencil. Not stencil. This is a stencil, yeah, the leaves are. Nope, they're not. They're all stamped. Sorry, guys. This is all a stamp, which I absolutely love this stamp. And a shadow technique. So once you stamp it, stamp a second time right next to it to create a little, like you have some leaves in the background. So it gives it dimension. This is Stampin' Up stamps down here. This is Diana Reevely here. And I think the Tim Holtz, no, are these Tim Holtz? No, this was actually a stencil that I used paint with. And that was just some generic thing I got. So, and that's the other thing I do too. Diana Reevely stuff tends to be quite expensive. And plus, I don't want everything to look just like Diana Reevely. I want some of my own personality to be in it too. So, get your stencils and stamps everywhere and use her techniques, but use your own stamps too. Buy some of her stuff, of course, but use your own stuff too that you have. So, anyway. And then here's the back. Oh, and I should show you guys. I'll show you guys this again because I'm going to take my artwork. Just a second. My head's going to come across the thing for just a second. Sorry. I'm going to take my own artwork, and I'm going to make a print. I'm going to print this out, shrink it to about 5 by 6, and then I'm going to collage her onto the front here. That's why I have this space. I created like a little frame, and she's going to go on there. I just haven't done that yet, but when I do that, I will show you guys this again. I'm sure you guys are probably curious. I'll show you a few pages that I've done. Oh, I'll show you. This is kind of cool. Okay, let me make sure that I'm in frame still. All right, let's make sure. Just a second, people. I make sure I'm in frame. Yeah, I'm still in frame. Cool. Sorry for my head. I made an envelope right here, and it's all hooks on with Velcro. Okay, and so this, you can tuck stuff in here. This is a really cool masking technique, and she sells the different little masks, but I made a bunch of my own mask out of, from my brother's Scan and Cut. This was a pattern that was inside my brother's Scan and Cut, this like high heel shoe, isn't it cool? and I did this masking technique. Isn't this awesome? I will show you guys that, and I have another video for this masking technique because this is really fun to do. Very easy. Okay. There we go. Let me see if you guys can see everything still. Yeah. It's coming a tad bit closer there. Okay. The reason this is all just like a blob here of color is because this is a blob, like a just a quick blob sheet. So once I spray a sheet, you have a whole bunch of the watercolor paint left over. Just take it and just splash it on. Take that page and you can just splash it onto this one. Or and because my page is removed, that's how I was able to just take this out and splash it onto something else. Otherwise, just get yourself a stack of like 110-pound cardstock. So like when you spray a bunch of stuff on here, you have so much stuff on there, you don't want to waste it. Take your 110-pound cardstock and just go like this, and you have another page ready to go. Okay? So since this is removable, because I have it in here with like, it's in signatures, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Well, I'll show you right now. This is like a signature right here. So it's in there. So this whole thing can come out. See the elastic? Okay? So that's how I can, if I'm working on a page over here, I can take this out and then take it and smush it over here and get myself another page going. Okay? So that's how my book works. Which, I should explain that. I really like my book working like that because I hate to work. I kind of hate working inside of a book. I'd rather be able to take the sheet out and just work on the sheet and then put the sheet back in the book. So that's what I did. That's why I made these signatures. And I made these signatures. Let me show you the middle again. Okay. I would take 2 pieces of the 110-pound cardstock from Michaels because it takes these watercolor paints so well in every other media because it's 110 pounds. It's nice and thick. It works really good with those watercolor type of sprays. Dilutions are the ones I make. Anyway, so I take, let's see if I can find, here it is. Excuse my arm. I take, this is that tape you use, like when you like sprain your ankle and then you need to tape up your ankles. This is that tape because it's like a fabric tape. It takes ink or paint really well. So I take 2 pieces of the 110-pound cardstock, butt them together, and then put a piece of this tape right here, right down the center. Now I've created myself a piece of paper this long, and I can fold it and do a bunch of those and make signatures, okay? So I can make them this size. Instead of folding them in half and having a small book, I can have this nice big book, okay? So that's how I did that. And I will do another, I keep talking, I have so many videos to do, you guys, because I have a lot of, I think I have a lot of like really cool ideas that I want to share. So, how I made this book exactly, I will do a video on it. Okay, so when you see these extra beginning pages, you guys know how I created those now. Here's another one I did, and I actually, this is not a Diane Reevely stamp. I actually drew her out myself, which I think she turned out pretty cool. So I drew her, she has a mushroom body, and I love how I did her, like her hair with all these, I don't know, swirls and all this kind of stuff. And then I Zentangled her. So I have this, I might put this on my Etsy shop. I have this little character, and I think I'll put her on my Etsy shop so that if people want to be able to buy her and download her, they can. This is a piece of page I haven't worked with yet. Blank, blank, blank. This is cool. I was, there's 2 techniques. I wanted to practice just stamping out leaves, then taking whatever's left on there, stamping the background so it looks like there's leaves behind, and then playing with my white pen and painting in, and then pinning in all the white leaves to really bring them out. And then this is a, well, you guys all recognize her. I can't think of those stamps. Anyway, you guys know the stamp I'm talking about. I wanted to practice this, Diane Reevely, I've seen her doing like checkered dresses or skirts, and so I did this one in black and black checkered. And then for the color, I left the color of the background for the color of the skirt in between the checkers. Plus, there's a bunch of layers of stenciling and paint, not paint, but the sprays on here with a lot of stenciling for the background. So, I'll be showing you guys how I do these things. Again, another extra beginning stages of another blob page ready to go. I should call them background pages. Another background page ready to go. Here's another one. I think this turned out really pretty. A little double page spread. This is another technique where you mask off, you stamp the first one and you put a mask over her and you keep stamping right in front of it a little bit and a little bit in front of her so they all look like they're like kind of behind each other. I think that's pretty cool. This is a cool stamp I have, a cool stencil I got from Tuesday Morning. I have all these Paris stencils. I love them. They're so cool. So there's a lot of really cool techniques on here. Like I said, I will be showing you guys how I do these. These are pages that I just take my extra paint left over, extra spray, and just blob it on there. Because these are great beginnings for the next page. So now you already have some paint on here. Add to this, and it'll turn out really cool. And it'll turn out really different because you already have something on there. You already have some background ink on there, or some background paint or stencil or something, and it's going to add to the background of your next page. This one I think turned out really cool. I did that same leaf technique, but here, this is a thing called bleach out, where I stamped all this out, and then I took a water brush, or you could just take a plain brush with water, and you go through each flower, and it bleaches the water out, and then you could fill it back in with color. But I thought it looked cool after I bleached it out, how light all the little areas were with all the colors. It's like they were already shaded and highlighted when I did that, so I left them. I didn't fill them back in with any color. And did more over here and here and here. And then I stamped her out, and then I outlined her in a white pen and gave her white polka dots for her dress. But I like how she looks like she's like a little angel, and she's just coming through the picture. So, there's that. Another page where I just went ahead and taken the excess ink and blobbed it on here. So I have another background ready to go. This turned out pretty cool. Whole bunch of different techniques used here. It says imagine, believe, create. I love that stamp right there. That stamp is so cool. It's a peacock stamp. I love it. Okay. These are more background pages that are ready to go. Okay. Ready to go to have more things added to them. More background pages ready for things to add on to them. These are all clean, blank pages. I don't know if there's anything else. And then again, 2 other pages where I've just taken, this is actual paint with a baby wipe. And look how smooth, that's another technique, taking paint with a baby wipe. Look how nice and smooth that is. So I can add like, 2 other colors on here that will go really good with like purple and teal with the baby wipe. And look how smooth of a background you'll get. And then on top of that, you can start adding, paint through stencils and just keep going and do sprays and inks and, Okay, and then here's a bunch of magazines. Okay, and then that's another background that's ready to go. That's already been started. And then I cut a bunch of pictures out of magazines. I've seen her take magazine pictures and like use the head and then draw the body, or take one head and put it on another body and just do some kind of cool stuff. So I thought I want to experiment with that. So I, ripped out some pages from a magazine. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you guys. And you know what? I want to... Okay, this needs to be here so that it can hold up my other stuff and be in frame. Just 1 second, you guys. Let me make sure I'm in frame. And look at the time on my thing. Okay, we're good on time. Okay, you guys. This is so cool. This was that paper bag I showed you guys last week. I took a brown paper bag from Trader Joe's. Just cut the bottom out and then kind of opened it up so I have a big long piece of paper. And I started making my own like drop paper. Like you have your drop sheet that you put down on your desk, and you end up having paint all over it, and people are doing stuff with their drop sheets. Well, there was a lady who's, let me look her up. There's a lady, and she makes drop sheets, and I thought, that is such a cool idea. So I have this drop sheet that I made. Just a second, let me see if I can look her name up. You know what? It'll take me too much time. I will try to make sure I put her name, because you guys have to check her channel. I'll make sure I put her channel on the below with the information. So anyway, I took this. I had a big piece of paper bag. I went ahead and made a drop sheet out of it, but kind of a fancier drop sheet. Okay, all with just paint and stencils. I think it turned out really, really cool. Layers and layers of paint and layers of different stencils upon stencils upon stencils. So I think it turned out really cool. You could even Zentangle on top of this too and do that. But what I wanted to show you is I made it into a big huge like bag or pocket. So look at that. So this opens up. See, that opens up there. And then, look. And inside, I didn't cover the inside because I think that's so cool to see. It's a paper bag in there. So, and I put hinges on it. So, like, you know how you make pockets and you put the hinges on the pocket so that, you know, you have more room when you open it? So there's paper hinges inside here. So this really opens up nice and big. So I love this. It's going to fit my 11 by 14 or 11 by 13, 11 by 12, 11 by 12 paintings. So like when I go to one of my stores and I have some new stuff to show them, I'm going to put them in this big, huge envelope. I mean, because if you bring that in to show a customer and say, hey, I got some new prints that I've done or some new pictures I made, they're going to want to see what's in there because it's something cool to look at. They're going to be like, oh my God, that's cool. What's in there? So there's a little tip. If you want to get yourself in some stores and stuff like that, when you go in the store, for one, establish a relationship. Go in a couple times so they've seen you, they know who you are. Because you go in the third time, they're willing to talk to you, and that's what I've done to get some of my paintings in stores. And so then you guys are friends, so that's easier. After that, when you walk in with your prints or whatever you want to try to get into their store, walk in and have it in something cool. Because they're going to want to know what's in there. Oh, that's neat. Now it's a conversation about this. And now they're going to want to open it. So, anyway, that's a cool, I thought that'd be a cool little tip. Plus, I wanted to share what I made out of that. I think it turned out so neat. Excuse my head. Okay, next. Now, I have some Happy Mail going out. So, this is Happy Mail that's going out this week. Or today. These are those file folders that I made. Or pockets that I made out of file folders. So, this is a mixture of the Dylusions, spray paints, and the paints I make, and layers and layers of stenciling, and stamps, and stamping, and everything. I think it turned out so cool. So, this one opens up like this. It's a complete fold out. This is a cool little technique right here, which I'll show you guys. I think that turned out so cool. And I love the Asian stamp that I got right there, or Asian stencil. Okay, so this opens up like this. This is a whole nother technique I'll show you guys. This is really cool, and that's done with a stencil. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. That's a cool little technique right there, and that's done with a stencil. Isn't that neat? I did that with 2 different stencils. Then, here's the pocket, which has some pictures in it, which I will share with you guys. But again, this is a pocket in the middle that'll fit 8 by 10 size. And I did some numbers at the top, some Asian writing. Not Asian writing. Those are Asian stencils. They're happiness, love, peace, and I don't know what the other one represents. There wasn't room for that, so I just put the little thing down there. Okay, let me show you this. This page is really cool. That's a Donna Downey, I think her name is. Donnie Downey. That's a Donnie Downey heart. Isn't that a cool heart? I love that. Let me show you, come out a little bit. And then I used a Diana Reevely border stencil around it, which I think turned out really cool. And then in the background is layers and layers of the Dylusions and watercolor, homemade watercolor sprays through stencils, layers of that, and layers of ghosting, and all these really cool techniques to get that. So I think that turned out really cool. Let me see what the front of this looks like. Okay, let me just show you. Oh, and then I did her, I think I showed you guys this one already. Did I show you that? Yeah, I showed you this one. This is another really cool technique, more Asian stamps. More cool of those Dylusion techniques. And then in the middle, I have some of my artwork that I'm going to be sending this person for Happy Mail. Oh, and this is the other thing I love. In the middle, that stencil, isn't that a cool stencil? It's those Paris stencils I was telling you about. So it's like number 0.9, then Martial, and then it has that little fancy little doodad below it. And then next to it, I put an Asian stencil, and then numbers on the side of that. I just think the whole look looks really cool. Because it's like Asian next to like Paris, next to like some numbers. So it looks, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let me back out a little bit. And these are the pictures. You guys have seen these before. But I got some really nice 8x10 prints. And I make sure they're 8x10 so they can go into 8x10 frames. Because these are the ones I'm going to be selling in my some of the stores that I'm going to be in. So this one. And then this one. And these are all very mixed media art. And yes, I do draw all the girls that are in it. And then this is all mixed media art that I do behind it, which I've explained in other videos. Yeah. And then I know it's weird, I have a line of Native American, what do you want to call them? Warriors. And so this is one of them. And he actually isn't a warrior. He's called the Great White Spirit. And I think these are really cool. These were really fun to make. They're very, very cool, very time consuming. These Native American warriors. And like I said, this one's called the what does it say? Great White Spirit. So, anyway, so that'll be going to someone as Happy Mail. Okay, hopefully I can get that down. Okay, let me show you the. Oh, you know what? Let me check my camera because it's about to go off. Okay, so let's finish up showing you the happy mail that's going out. So we got that going out. The other thing. Oh, and then I have 2 cards going out. I took one of those prints that you saw, made it into a 4x6, matted it on here, and made it into a card. And this is nothing but 110 pound cardstock from Michaels. And then, you know, make it into a card base. And then inside, I don't like to put anything inside because I don't know. I feel like it ruins my card. I hate that. And then they can use the card again for something else if they want to. And then I put Handmade with Love by Angela. I have a really cool stamp right there. But I wanted to show you guys something. Really quick, let me hide the name so that and I'll just show you. You make your own stationery because I was going to buy some stationery, but the stationery when you buy it has no lines. I need lines, okay? Or I'm going to be writing like south, okay? So I made my own stationery. This is just a quick little tip or a reminder. We can make our own stationery, you guys. Simply out of just regular, you know, standard lined paper. And I took these butterflies with some really pastel-y colors and just stamped butterflies all over the place. And if you do pastel-y colors, you can write right over the pastel-y colors. And then you have the butterflies behind your writing. Or whatever colors you want to use and whatever stamps you want to use. So it's just a little reminder of something cool. And then that way, the letter is inside of the card, which is how I like to do it, like this. See? So then, I don't know, I haven't ruined my card with writing in it. I've written on the beautiful stationery that I made. I know that sounds crazy. Okay, again, I made another card and did a 4x6 of the Great White Spirit. That's going to someone else, and matted it on black, and then put it on the card. Again, I did another letter, and I made my own stationery with and it's important if you're going to make your own stationery like this, use pastel-y ink pads, because otherwise if it's dark, you're not going to be able to see your writing. But as long as it's pastel, see, you can write right over it and you totally see your writing. Okay, so I think that turned out pretty cool. And then this is another one of those pockets I made. Okay, so there that is. And this is these Paris stencils that I love. Oh, aren't they just beautiful, you guys? And down here. And then I thought this was cool. I put this numbers on backwards by accident. And then I'm like, that looks cool. So I'm leaving it. I love it. I love stuff like that. Stuff that's all funky like that. Okay, then inside, so you open it up like this. There's another pocket right here. Again, that Cafe Paris. That same stencil I used again. But I used another one of the Paris stencils. It's Rue 7 Rule Say So, I don't know. And another of the Paris stencils. And then I use that number 7 here. And then this is, I believe, jelly printed. I think I jelly printed this one. Yeah, I did jelly printing, and then over the jelly printing, I took a baby wipe with the same color paint and did that. Then I did stenciling. So there's just like a lot of really cool layers on here. And then in the pocket, I have some tags that I made. So I'll show you guys those. I think they turned out pretty cool. And all this stuff I'm always showing you guys, I'm going to start doing some videos so you guys can see how I did them. I think this one turned out really cool. This is that masking technique. Love. It's on the pocket of my journal. I think I just want to show you, and I learned this from Dee Dee Willingham. When you do a tag or an art card, you can paint the backs black, because you know, like a lot of times stuff gets on the back of them, so they look nice and clean, and you can sign them on the back in a white, like a white pen. Okay, there's another one, and it's two almost the same one. But see, I did two almost the same, but they're still different. Look, see, they're still different. So, okay. So these are tags that I made. Yikes. Sorry, I just had a crash. Okay, so we're going to put these in here. Okay, now, this thing flips up like this. So at the top of that flap, I put another pocket. And I put Paris, again, there's that stencil, those cool stencils again. And Paris and then number 9 up here. And in there, I have these. These are the same